Hey guys, the Chickens here, back today with another home gym video. In today's video, guys, I want to talk about how to maximize your progress having a home gym. So this is something that's obviously very exciting about having a home gym, is just the fact that I'm going to be able to work out whenever I want, however I want, for as long as I want. And there's no gym hours or there's no driving constraints to hold you back. So I'll start this off by talking about how people typically train at a gym, and then how you can differ at a home gym. So I think the way most of us who have home gyms, at least in the space that I'm in, typically revolve around like powerlifting style training. So mostly barbell stuff, squats, bench, deadlift, and whatever accessories we can get out of the machines or other equipment that we have. So typically those programs, they look like some really popular ones are like upper lowers, a lot of like the bro splits, like the six days, where you focus on different muscle groups and that kind of thing. The more powerlifting style programs, they're going to be like 3 days a week, 4 days a week. Your Shaco stuff, West Side kind of like programming, and it's typically 3 or 4 days a week, I think, is what's like the average kind of frequency for working out. But with a home gym, the biggest benefit is you can do, if you're really into Westside, what they call mini workouts or off day workouts, things like that. And there's no having to drive to the gym, because I mean, realistically, who's going to drive to the gym to do a 20-30 minute workout, right? Like, it's just not really feasible, and it doesn't really make sense. It's not really a good use of your time. But with a home gym, you come down to do the laundry or something. This is something I'm trying to get better at myself too. Why don't you could do like a speed bench workout in between, running up and down the stairs or whatever. And I find that that's a really beneficial way to just simply get extra work in. And if we're talking about, people that aren't on steroids, that are natural lifters, I think the general consensus, I'm not a scientist, I'm not, Dr. Mike Israel or anything, but I think the general consensus is for natural lifters that can't inflict as much damage unless you're super strong on a muscle group, doing, the typical 3 day a week workouts or 4 days or whatever. I think the frequency is better because it adds up over time and it's easy enough to do, and it doesn't, cause a bunch of soreness. If you look at some of the higher level guys, some of the strongest guys out there, typically they'll do things like, they might squat once a week. You see some of the huge guys, they'll deadlift like once every 2 weeks, things like that. It's just because they're putting so much stress and damage on their bodies that's really all that they can recover from and get back to being able to progress again. So I think that was definitely one of the biggest things that I looked at when, I was looking at getting a home gym. Especially for me, like, my bench has always sucked. My upper body, as you can see, has always lagged behind my lower body, if you've kept up with any of my training stuff. So yeah, that's a big benefit, I would say, is just being able to, do a bunch of extra back work, which you can never really do enough of, or extra bench presses or extra curls, or if you want to just come down and do arms. I mean, you can really do arms 7 days a week and it's not going to be a big deal, as long as it's not affecting the other stuff, the big three. So having a home gym definitely makes that easier, but in contrast, to play both sides, it's definitely easier to skip those workouts too. I'll just do it, I'll do it this afternoon, or I'll do it tonight, or I'll do it, first thing tomorrow morning, because, you could. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. It's right there. It's very accessible. It's very easy to do that. So it's kind of a trading game. Whereas if you're like determined to go to the gym and your only realistic time to go there is after work, like, you're not going to go to work, to home, then go to the gym, or whatever your preference or schedule is, doing it vice versa wouldn't really make sense. So it's like you got to make that decision in that moment. So you could make the argument that it's easier to stay on schedule, to stay on your program, by actually having to physically go to the gym, because you have to plan out your days and plan out your schedule ahead of time. But I'd say overall, it favors in terms of the home gym, because even if you do skip the odd one, like, more often than not, you're probably still gonna, get more work done having the equipment right there than not having it right there. So I would say that's definitely a big benefit of having a home gym. Just the accessibility and the ability, for me with my schedule, for example, I always wanted to do like high frequency squatting. That was always something I was interested in, like a squat every day, like Bulgarian thing kind of program, just for, you know, whatever, just to try it. Now, fast forward, I've got some injuries I'm still working around that definitely don't line up with that kind of training right now. But that's something that I wouldn't be able to do if I was driving to the gym every day, because it just wouldn't make sense. You know, it's just too much time, it's too much travel. Yeah, can you still do it? Absolutely. I'm just saying it's not as realistic maybe for everybody to have a schedule like that where you're dedicating every single day 1 to 2 hours of driving to the gym and then going home. Like, it's kind of crazy. So, you know, I noticed too that like a lot of people, especially people that work shift work, it's very tough to work a 12-hour shift, or then like coming off of an overnight shift or something like that, and then drive straight to the gym. So I mean, in that instance, if you have a really shit schedule, or if you know have a job where your fatigue like fluctuates, like say if you do manual labor or something like that, and you just have like a horrible, you know, day where it's a lot more work than usual and you're just beat up, and it's like, okay, well, this is typically the night I go to the gym. Having a home gym, that's not a problem. It's like, I'll just do it tomorrow. It doesn't change anything. You're still driving the same distance and going to the same spot anyways. You might have to shift a little bit around, but I mean, you can still get the work done, and it's not as big of a time constraint. So having that flexibility, especially if you have a job like that, I mean, if you have a 9 to 5 office job that like never changes, then yeah, sure, maybe that's not a benefit for you specifically, but you know, we all have stressors regardless of whether you work manual labor or not. We all have shit days every now and then where you don't want to go to the gym. And yeah, if you're able to just manage that better, then that's good. You know, it takes a little bit of stress off. Like, everyone always talks about working out being important to manage stress. Like, if you are consistently in the gym for like a very long time, I don't know if I believe that's true. Like, it certainly feels better afterwards, and obviously it's worth doing overall, but I don't know. To me, I feel like it adds stress to my day. You know, on the days that I work out, I'm more stressed than the days that I don't. Obviously, after the workout, I feel great, but that's not typically until the end of the day, right? So, you know, it goes both ways, but just some interesting other benefits to a home gym, and something I've really been enjoying, and at least trying to focus on myself this last little bit, is just, you know, hey, if I'm going down into the basement, knock out a set of curls, do a set of pull-ups, you know, do some like speed bench, dynamic effort, whatever. Just low impact stuff that adds up to the volume over time. I feel like that's beneficial. So that's my take. You guys let me know what you think. Subscribe if you want to see more home gym stuff. Catch the next one, guys. Chicken out.